Greetings, everyone. It's Amina Jaman, Art Director of International Filmmaker Festival of New York. This is a Jubilee edition of IFFNY. Team of IFFNY is really excited. Organizer, founder, and executive director of IFFNY, Marika Krasniqi, our editor and designer, Fisnik Halili. Hi, filmmakers are joining. And our info supporter, New York Elite Magazine. Thanks to all of you for doing this incredible festival, for organizing it, for making it incredible on and offline. And I already have a panel with directors of short documentaries. I can't wait to talk to them all. Come on, Tom, Franz is our first guest. Hi, Tom. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Where are you now?
I'm back home on Long Island.
Oh,
Out with the family on this beautiful day, and
I see. Do you have any plans to hunt?
next season, yeah, this is the off season, so definitely come November we'll be out there for sure.
I see. I'm asking because I watched your documentary. I mean, it's incredible. Bravo. Congratulations on such a brilliant and strong work. I
Thank-
truly enjoyed it, and you kind of opened my eyes to another New York City. I have never thought of hunting near New York City. Tell us a
Yeah,
little bit about that.
yeah. Most people don't think about it, and even people that live here have no clue that it even goes on just miles away, and it's a very niche community that go out there, and a bunch of good guys, men and women, go out there and enjoy duck hunting, pheasant hunting, deer hunting. Uh, right behind the city skyline, and I was very proud to show it because the main goal was to show people what really happens.
Yes, it's really incredible. And I saw people that are so passionate about hunting.
Yeah, you got
Sometimes you don't even see people who are passionate about their work, as these guys are passionate about their hobby.
yeah. And you got guys that it's not only just a hobby to them. There's a couple guys in the film
Lifestyle.
that are guides for a living, and this is how they make their living. And there's other guys that's all they want to do is after they come home from their day job is just get out there. So I was very happy to show every aspect of it. We have two guys. One of them is a decoy collector. The other one carves decoys. He's a world champion. And even that world, you wouldn't think that a world champion decoy carver is like even a thing. But we went inside it all, and I loved how it came out. I enjoyed the journey, the whole journey that it took me on. I met all these incredible people, and definitely worth my time and commitment.
Yeah, how long did it take to make this documentary?
It took me about 2 years, and the reason it took that long is because of the hunting seasons. I could only shoot.
Yeah, you should wait for it, right?
So it did take that long, and then COVID threw a little bit of a wrench in everybody's plans, I'm sure. But we made it through it, and the guys in the film were thrilled with how it came out, and that's really all I cared about, was that they were happy and how they were portrayed, and how the hunting community as a whole was portrayed.
Yeah, I mean, most of the scenes are exterior scenes, so I don't think you had a lot of problems shooting outside,
Yeah,
on a fresh air.
most of it was shot in the middle of January out on the bay. We're breaking ice to get out there. It was 20 degrees out. So I was in some pretty unique situations. Some of the shots I'm kneeling in water up to my knees in full gear and everything. So it was a very logistic thing to hunt, meaning everything had to line up to film, but it came out great. I loved it.
Yes, I was amazed by the collection of ducks.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, that guy.
incredible human being who collects them.
Yeah, this guy, Butch Stroud. He's out in Yaphank on the east end of Long Island, and he's a collector. And as he tells you in the film, he not only does he collect duck decoys, he collects everything. So
Yeah, about
you
ducks.
know, and I found all these people to profile through social media. So everybody was telling me, you got to go see Butch. You got to go see Butch. And I went out there and I was amazed. This guy has stacked decoys from floor to ceiling, and some that date back to the 40s, 50s, and all these great local carvers that grew up right here on Long Island. I'm a Long Islander. I grew up here. I'm very proud of living here, and proud of being a New Yorker. So just to see that and see the history of it was really cool to me. I've been hunting since I was a kid as well. So to combine the two passions of film and hunting was really, a
It's
no-brainer.
perfect. It's an ideal combination. It wasn't even a job, right? It was a
I
pleasure.
I did it on my own time, on my off time. I'm a photojournalist for a living, for news,
Wow.
and I did it on my own time, and it was worth every second of it.
Yes, I mean, I have a huge collection of koalas, but each koala is different. And when I see a collection of ducks, like you have like 100 like similar, exactly the same ducks,
Yeah.
how does he feel like different when they are the same?
Yeah, I mean, for those who don't know, duck hunting, we use the decoys to attract the birds and bring them in. Um,
Yeah.
so we do use, from anywhere from a spread of 5 to 100. Like it depends on the situation. So you got guys that have thousands and thousands of them, and it's cool. And with this film, I know hunting's not for everybody, and that's fine with me, and that's fine with everybody else. But I felt like it was important to show what it's really about. And it's not just going out there and shooting and doing that. It's about being out on the bay with your family and friends, and
Mhm.
really enjoying the outdoors.
Yeah, I mean, one of the characters, one of the heroes of your documentary, said that his wife gave birth, and next day he went hunting. It's like, every Thanksgiving, every like holiday,
Yeah,
it's a chance to go and hunt for
it's
him.
our
He
tradition. And
waits for it.
one of our guys, Billy, I still give him stuff for it. I mean, I don't know how his wife allowed him to go out the morning his first daughter was born, but he made it out there to keep tradition alive. And yeah, we still joke about it all the time.
Yes, I mean, I remembered myself, I had a ticket to a Broadway show, and the whole day was really long, I work like 24/7. And one friend of mine asked me, "Are you gonna go to that show? Like, after all the hard work you've done, like, do you still have energy?" I'm like, "Of course I'm gonna go to that Broadway show. I live for that, I'm waiting for that." So he's like, "Oh my God, you really love theater." So it's the same, the same
Yeah,
passion, it's really strong.
right. Anything you're passionate about, you find that extra energy and you find the time, and that's what makes life worth living. That's what makes it great. So I
Yes,
I have too many things I'm passionate about, so I run out of time pretty quick.
yes, I see. So you take Long Island Railroad really often, right?
Yeah, yeah. I take the Long Island Rail.
Every day?
Yep, Belt Parkway.
If
all the joys.
I'm
But
not mistaken, I took a Long Island Railroad when I went to Southampton.
oh, Southampton.
It's
Yeah,
that
yeah.
direction, right?
Yep.
Because I
Yeah.
mean, I was at Penn
Quite,
Station many times, Different direction. I went to Terrytown from Grand Central. I shot a short film there, and I went to Southampton for the wedding of my dear friend Maria Angelica, her legendary husband, drummer Simon Kirk, and I performed at that wedding actually. So I know that Long Island Railroad very well. I loved it.
You get to Southampton, then there's hunting spots all over there, and you would never know. You know, the Gold Coast and the Gold Coast of Long Island, and we're all over there. You know, 12 gauges and all that. So
Yes, and it's not against the law, so
no,
people can do that.
yeah, completely within the law, and it's actually encouraged for the
Mhm.
environment. You know, we have to pay certain fees and stuff that all goes back into conservation for these animals. You know, we love to see them, and we love to see them thrive.
I see. So what are you working on at the moment? Any exhibition of your photographs, maybe? New
Yeah,
documentary?
yeah. I for the moment, I'm just kind of in the planning phases and thinking of some new ideas. Um, but that's it. You know, working the day to day. I'm making commercials now and doing stuff like that. But you know, if a new idea strikes me, I'll be back out there for sure.
I see. And actually, I really loved the views of New York City in the beginning, opening credits. How did you shoot them?
Yeah, that was about 3 days of exploring every iconic location in New York City. We were lucky enough to have access to go to the top of the Grace Building, which overlooks, you know, the Empire State Building and
Yes.
Manhattan. That day was crazy. It was again freezing, and once we were up there, we were only allowed to be up there until we called them to bring us back down. So we didn't
Mhm.
want to leave without getting what we needed. So we stayed up there freezing cold on the windiest day of the year for like 2.5 hours. It was pretty nuts, but it was amazing just to get around Manhattan and try to showcase it the best we could. You know, you could live in Manhattan a lifetime and not see every iconic location, but you know, we tried to make it so we can show everybody else.
You did it excellently well. I mean, and all these views, and also Brooklyn Bridge, Times Square. I mean, all my favorite places are there. I'm like, oh my God, I love this film from the first second. It's my favorite city in the world.
Yeah, I think the intro really grabs the viewer and you know, takes them kind of into where we are. And I know the hunting is based on Long Island and it is right outside the city, but you know, as you've seen some of the scenes, JFK Airport, where you know
Yes.
planes are buzzing us right over the top of our heads. So it's
I loved it. I loved, the view, the planes, and you're like, oh my God, I went, to JFK via subway A, like, or C, and I'm like, I was there like far rock away, like I had no idea, there's hunting going on there.
yeah, it's a great thing. I encourage everybody to you know, take a look at it if they're interested. It's one of the biggest destinations for duck hunting. You know, so we have birds here that not a lot of other places have. So uh,
Hmm.
it's really cool.
So great job. Congrats on selection. And I mean, I can't wait to see your photographs, not just documentaries.
Yeah,
And
I'm
I mean,
taking stills too. That, you know, that's my other passion. So um,
yes.
out there putting new stuff out.
Yeah,
New
so you can make like a gallery, an exhibition at the gallery with photographs of ducks, of all these
yeah,
birds you see, outside,
yeah,
You can just uh, take pictures of nature. You don't even need models.
nothing. Yep, just head out there with the camera and see what you find.
Yeah, so I mean, you were talking about shooting outside when like there is a bad weather, but the worse the weather, the more chances to
Right,
get a great,
right.
you know, a view, great, take because less people go outside when it's a bad weather, right?
And
Less competition.
ducks, you know, when it's windy and cold, that's when they're active. So um,
Yes,
that's when
because
we're
others are like, okay, I'm gonna wait, till it's, it gets warm, right?
no, the warm weather. It's hot right now, and you know, I'm wishing to go back to middle of January out in the bay. So
I see. I usually go shopping when it's raining because you don't have a lot of people like in the line.
hmm
So
right. And
that's an
listen,
idea for,
very
for the shopping.
be a part of this festival. I'm so excited for it. This is one of my favorites so far. So um, thank you for having me and Beyond the City Skyline. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. That was Tom Franz from USA with his short documentary Beyond the City Skyline. And this film is really beyond your imagination. And I even remember the title of Eugene O'Neill's play, Beyond the Horizon. So your film is also like a Beyond the Horizon. You think you know what it's about, New York, New York, and then it's like, oh no, that's not Liza Minnelli, New York, New York. That's a different New York. So it's really, really beyond the horizon, and I wish it a lot of success, and let it be also beyond your imaginations.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. So you
Bye.
sign off, and I invite our next guest, Vanessa Shah, and she's from Canada. Vanessa, can't wait to see you and to talk to you about your documentary.
Hi,
Hi.
Nina.
Hi,
How are
Vanessa.
you?
I'm doing great.
Nice to
How
meet
are
you.
you? Same here.
Really nice to meet you. My hair is terrible,
No,
but
it's
that's what
great.
happens right now.
Yeah, so tell me, what inspired you to make a documentary about Toronto?
Well, it's my hometown. I mean, I immigrated here when I was a kid, like most people in this city, and yeah, the city. I do a lot of photography and filming about urban decay. And when the lockdown happened, within a couple of weeks, I just felt the need to get out and see what was happening to my city when all the people left. And it was incredibly surprising to me because it was the most stunning thing. It was like a choreography of how the city functioned without people. And it had its own breath, its own pace, its own story to tell.
Best views, right? Nobody, is in the
Ooh, it was
shot.
fantastic.
You don't need to
Yeah,
crop
definitely.
anymore.
I know. It was really a fantastic
Clear view.
experience.
I see. And I want to tell our viewers that your documentary is called Portrait of My City Breathing. It's actually breathing because there is no rush, no crowd, and you can see the beauty of Toronto. I was in Toronto in 2010 after Vancouver
Yeah.
Olympics. Yes, and I went there. I went to Niagara Falls, Royal Alexandra Theater. I mean, and I love
Yes,
Theater District. It's like a mini version of Broadway in Canada.
it is.
Really cool. And all those
Yeah. No, no,
stars.
it's incredibly cosmopolitan here. Like it's a very, very big city. People, I guess if you're not used to coming to Canada, if it's not a destination for a lot of people, they don't realize how cosmopolitan it is. But it is a pretty incredible city.
Yes, and I've been told in Vancouver that English and French, of course, everybody knows that these languages are main languages in Canada, but third language is Chinese. There is a huge
Yes.
community, Chinese community in Canada, so it's really, really international and
Yes,
cosmopolitan, as you said. And what's your
absolutely.
favorite location in Toronto?
Well, it's interesting that you use that word because, yes, I make short films and I direct, but the biggest part of my income comes from working on television shows and features, and I'm a location scout. So
Wow.
I'm always out there investigating like hidden amazing locations that nobody's ever found, and sometimes it's scary, but mostly I find incredible gems, and it's part of my job to break down a script and give it life through my city.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
incredible. And you can, I mean, visit all these places and enjoy it, during work, right? It's really
Yeah.
awesome. I remember
Yeah.
a visit to Hockey Hall of Fame in Toronto.
Oh, yeah.
It's really incredible. And the monument of a few hockey players, and I was standing next to them. It's so funny. And the museum is just incredible. It's so huge. I really admire people that collect and respect all these memorabilia. And I mean,
Right.
all the merch.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part of any sport, like going to any game and buy the merch.
The merchandise.
Yes, merchandise.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, tell me, what are you working on at the moment?
Well, I'm in post-production on a documentary. It's a trilogy. The first two have already gone to air. The trilogy is called The Family Next Door,
Mm-hmm.
and it's about the immigrant experience moving to Toronto in the 1960s. But
Mm-hmm.
each of the documentaries is a different perspective of a family member. So it's the same story, but the dad's view, the mother's view, and the kid's
Yes.
view. So I'm in post for the kids one now.
I see. So, it might be really different. Like each view is like an alternative point of view, It's not just the
No, it
same.
is.
Yes.
Yeah, it's interesting because kids see things very simplistically. So the kid's perspective on the environment when she immigrated to this country is it's interesting. They're all very, very different.
Yes, I mean, and they should be different because each person is different. I mean, it's individual and the feelings
Yeah.
are individual. It's normal, it would be weird and awkward if everybody felt the same way, right? So
Mm.
everybody must have their own opinion. So
Yes.
tell me, I mean, there are so many lakes in Canada. It's surrounded by water, from every part. It's so beautiful. Do you have like a favorite place with water? Like maybe near ocean or some lake?
Well, I live on a beach, so
No?
yeah, I'm about 10 meters from the water right now.
Oh,
And I'll
that's
probably take my stand-up paddleboard out this afternoon. So I'm very lucky.
yes,
uh,
you are.
because this city really does offer so many different kinds of living. So you can live at the beach, you can live urban, you can live in the country. It's all here.
Yes, yes, and you always feel the fresh air. Actually, Canada is the second place in the world where I felt fresh air, without anyone smoking near me. I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
this is what they call fresh air. First is my
yeah,
hometown, Malchik. We have fantastic nature there and fantastic air. And Canada is second. I'm like, oh my God, at last
yeah,
nobody smokes,
yeah.
At
It's
last I
true.
can enjoy nature.
It's true.
So tell
It's
me,
true.
is this a US premiere of your documentary at
It
IFFNY?
is. It is. What I focused on in the past couple of years is experimental films. So when I made this, I really wanted the soundtrack to be really important. So it's a combination of synthesized music, which is similar to what Brian Eno used to produce, or still
Mm-hmm.
does, breathing, and city sounds. So I had a sound designer come on board, and he's a young, um, new to the industry sound designer, and he did an incredible job. So he matched all my various soundtracks and developed a third soundtrack, amalgamated them all together to match the pacing of the film and each scene. So that for me is really exciting too, that I could promote a new artist and that he did such a fantastic job. His name is Ryan Calvert. He's
Mm-hmm.
yeah, priceless. He's very talented.
Yes, and soundtrack means a lot. I mean, you can see a beautiful shot, but if you have a beautiful soundtrack over it, it's twice beautiful, you know. It's like it makes you cry, you know. If you watch like the same shot without music, it's like, oh, beautiful, but with music it can make you cry.
Yeah, it's true. Like he did a really incredible job matching the pacing of the film with, like, honestly, his soundtrack is incredible. So the pacing is the way you would feel when you're breathing. So
Yes.
it really is the dance of my city. So when you see each scene, it's how the transit system is paced and how the animals in the city work, how the cars function all during a lockdown. It's like
Yes, it is.
choreography, really.
Yeah, it is a portrait of your city breathing. And speaking of
It is.
choreography, National Ballet of Canada is also incredible. And Karen
It is.
Kane, famous ballerina and part of Rudolph Nureyev, is one of my favorite ballerinas of all time. And I
Yeah,
mean,
she's quite incredible.
yes, she's
Yeah.
fantastic. I mean, and I think that your documentary is like a an inner monologue of the city, you know? So
Yes,
you don't
that's well
hear,
put. Yes.
but you feel it, you know? So without any rush, without any noise, you just feel it the way the
Yeah,
city speaks to you.
it's true. It's funny that you say that because everybody I know that has seen it has said the same thing, that after a while they're breathing the same pace as the film
Yes,
and you just go through it. Yeah. Yeah.
yes. So
It's got
congratulations
it.
on
Thank
selection.
you.
And we are very
Thank
happy
you.
to have your documentary in the program of IFFNY and can't
Thank
wait to
you.
see your new works
Thank
on
you.
TV
Thank
and
you.
on big screen. Thank you so much. That was
Thank you.
Vanessa Shah from Toronto, Canada, a brilliant
Thank you.
filmmaker.
I
Bye.
feel privileged. Thank you.
And the next guest
Bye.
is Niamh Hayes. Niamh is from Ireland. Can't wait to see her. Hi,
Hi,
how are you?
I'm great, thanks. How are
Yeah,
you?
I'm doing great too. So tell our
Good.
viewers about your wonderful documentary, The Last Light Keeper.
So, yes, it's called The Last Lightkeeper. It is a short documentary that is set at Galleyhead Lighthouse in West Cork in Ireland. And it tells the story about Gerald Butler, who is a third generation lightkeeper. So both his father and his mother and
Oh,
his grandfather were all lightkeepers. And so once he retires in the next few years, he's going to be basically he will be the last lightkeeper working on that lighthouse, as they're not replacing people on lighthouses in Ireland anymore. So it tells the story of him and his family and
generations.
his family. Exactly, his family's connection to the lighthouse, and yeah, it's quite a sad story because it's something that's coming to an end. I think it's I'm very happy with it. I think it's very beautiful.
It's absolutely beautiful, and I love the nature. I love the story. It's so beautiful, actually. It's not sad, in my opinion, because you look at the hero and he's so happy. He loves his life. He loves his work. He doesn't consider it work, It's like, oh my God. I mean, I enjoy it. I go there every morning and I love it, right? Such a
Yes, yeah,
pure soul. I really love.
absolutely. I think that's my favorite part about it. It's just him, and he's just so genuine and just loves his job so much. And as he says in it, it's a way of life. It was never a job for him. It's always been a way of life. So
Yes.
it's very inspiring.
Yes, is he related to Jared Butler? No,
He's not. He's not.
the namesake, right?
Namesake, yeah. Well, the lightkeeper is Gerald Butler with an L, and then the actor is Jared. So, but Jared is only from across the pond in Scotland, so there might be some relation
But
there.
like last name, Butler. I'm like, oh, maybe. What if, you never know. I see. So how long did it take to make this documentary? A few days? How did
Yes,
you
so I
shoot?
actually started it 2 years ago is when I first went up there. to start filming with Colin Morrison, who is the cinematographer on it. And then I guess like this was something, it was a passion project that we were doing on the side. We were both working full time. So kind of it took us the 2 years to make it. Again, like it probably should have taken us a lot less, but because we were working besides and it was kind of a thing on the side, so 2 years. And then of course we got Vince Murray, who was our editor, on board, and he did all the music and everything for it. So it was a nice small team. But yeah, it's been great.
And the nature is so beautiful in Ireland, so green. I mean, just as I expected it to be, but it's just so breathtaking. Like the views are breathtaking. I really loved it. You know, the DP's work, everything is on the highest level, you know, so professional and so genuine. You know, you watch it, it's like a family friendly documentary. You don't have a lot of movies and documentaries that you can show to children. You know, what do you see today is like, oh my God, I can only watch them on my own, like, or I can watch it with parents but without children, or I can watch it with children but without parents. And this film is for the entire family, you know, anyone can watch it. And there is nothing vulgar in it, you know, there is nothing wrong in it, you know. And it's like, oh my God, I miss such type of projects on TV and on big screen. I want to see more like that, you know. So
Yes, it is absolutely family friendly.
So are you working on another documentary at the moment? What are your upcoming projects?
So I work in TV production usually, so I'm a TV researcher, so that's kind of what I do most of my time. So I'm not working on any documentary at the moment, but hopefully now over the next few months in the summer, myself and Colin are hoping to team up again and make something. So yeah, you might see us again at the festival sometime.
Yes, please do, because you know, I mean it, you know, we need more documentaries like that, you know, like something that brings warmth and beautiful memories, something with moral, you know, something that inspires, and something with family values. It's really, really important. No kidding.
Well, thank you.
One of a few times when I'm really serious. So, thank you so much, Niamh. It's really awesome to have you at our film festival. It's an honor. And say hi to everyone in Ireland from me.
I will. Thank you so much for having me and for selecting my film. I'm delighted. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye. Have a wonderful evening.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.